How do you know where you are right now? Your ability to perceive your surrounding, to see, hear, and smell what's around you depends on your nervous system. If your perception indicates danger, your ability to act on that information also depends upon your nervous system. For instance, if you touched a burning coal, sensory neurons with endings in your fingertips would convey the information to interneurons that it was really hot. Some of these interneurons would signal to the motor neurons controlling your finger muscles, causing you to let go of the coal, while others would transmit the signal up the spinal cord to neurons in the brain where it would be perceived as pain. In order for neurons to send messages throughout the body, they need to be able to communicate with one another to transmit signals. However, neurons are not simply connected to one another. At the end of each neuron is a tiny gap called a synapse. And in order to communicate with the next cell, the signal needs to be able to cross this small space. Synapses consist of a presynaptic neuron, that is the nerve ending of the sending cell, and a postsynaptic end, the membrane of the receiving cell. There is a small gap between presynaptic and postsynaptic cells called synaptic cleft. The postsynaptic end of a neuron can be another neuron or a non-neuronal cell such as a muscle or a gland. Most synapses are chemical. These synapses communicate using chemical messengers. Other synapses are electrical. In these synapses, ions flow directly between cells. In a chemical synapse, inside the axon terminal of a sending cell are many synaptic vesicles. These are membrane-bound spheres filled with neurotransmitter molecules. When an action potential or nerve impulse arrives at the axon terminal, it activates voltage-gated calcium channels in the cell membrane. Calcium rushes into the cell due to higher extracellular concentration. Calcium ions interact with neurotransmitter vesicles membrane, causing them to fuse with the axon terminal membrane, releasing neurotransmitter into the synaptic cleft. The molecules of neurotransmitter diffuse across the synaptic cleft and bind to receptor proteins on the ligand-gated channels of postsynaptic cell and activate them. A specific neurotransmitter will only bind and activate a specific receptor. Activation of ligand-gated channels inhibits or excites the postsynaptic cell depending on the type of neurotransmitter. If it is excitatory neurotransmitter, it will open sodium ligand-gated channel. Sodium will move inside the neuron towards its concentration gradient, make the inside of the cell more positive, causing depolarization and starting an action potential. If it is inhibitory neurotransmitter, it will tell the neuron not to send an impulse by opening potassium ligand-gated channels. Potassium will diffuse out of the neuron, making inside of the cell more negative, causing hyperpolarization, leading them farther from the action potential threshold, thus inhibiting their action. Acetylcholine is an excitatory neurotransmitter that is found throughout the nervous system. One of its many functions is stimulating muscle contraction. Are you familiar with cosmetic Botox injections? They are used to eliminate wrinkles by temporarily paralyzing certain muscles. This procedure uses botulinum toxin to freeze the muscle in place by preventing neurons in the area from releasing acetylcholine. GABA is an inhibitory neurotransmitter that inhibits the firing of neurons and create a sense of calmness. It's found throughout central nervous system and is responsible for anti-stress, anti-anxiety, feel calm, and maintaining control. During those stressful weeks in school or at work, your brain becomes very excited, and as a response, your body normally produces GABA to bring your nervous system back to a state of calm. Without GABA, you will increasingly become restless and anxious and might experience seizures. Once the neurotransmitter has had the designed effect, it must be quickly removed or chemically inactivated in order to prevent constant stimulation of the postsynaptic cell and an excessive firing of action potentials. The action of neurotransmitters can be stopped by three different mechanisms. Diffusion. The neurotransmitter drifts away out of the synaptic cleft where it can no longer act on a receptor. Enzymatic degradation. A specific enzyme changes the structure of the neurotransmitter so it is not recognized by the receptor. Reuptake. The whole neurotransmitter molecule is taken back into the axon terminal that releases it through a specific protein called transporter and again packed inside the synaptic vesicle. Termination of the signal lets the postsynaptic cell return to its normal resting potential, ready for new signals to arrive. Dopamine plays a role in how we feel pleasure. In normal brain function, dopamine is released into a gap between two neurons, binds to dopamine receptors, sending a signal to the brain telling it to feel good. Once the signal is sent, protein transporter reuptakes dopamine into presynaptic cell to be recycled for further use. Cocaine is a drug that binds to dopamine transporter, blocking the removal of dopamine from the synapse. Dopamine then accumulates in the synapse and produces an amplified feel-good signal to the receiving neurons that creates the initial high in cocaine users. After the blood continues to flow around and filter through the liver, the cocaine is extracted and the dopamine is allowed to leave the gap. This brings a user down off the high. Continuous usage of cocaine decreases dopamine receptors over time, requiring higher doses of cocaine and causing a vicious cycle of dependence. At electrical synapses, unlike chemical synapses, there is a direct physical connection between the presynaptic neuron and the postsynaptic neuron. This connection takes the form of a channel called a gap junction, which allows current ions to flow directly from one cell into another. So the signal transmission is extraordinarily fast. A postsynaptic electrical signal is observed at this synapse within a fraction of a millisecond after the generation of a presynaptic action potential. Such synapses interconnect many of the neurons at a time. For example, it helps fish to flip its tail rapidly, which could be important, say, in a circuit that helps an organism escape from a predator, thus minimizing the time between the presence of a threatening stimulus and a potentially life-saving motor response. Electrical synapses are also more reliable as they are less likely to be blocked. Also, electrical synapses allow for the synchronized activity of group of cells. For example, certain hormone-secreting neurons within the mammalian hypothalamus are connected by electrical synapses. This arrangement ensures that all cells fire action potential at about the same time, thus facilitating a burst of hormone secretion into the circulation. Downsides of electrical synapses. Unlike chemical synapses, electrical synapses cannot turn an excitatory signal in one neuron into an inhibitory signal in another. More broadly, they lack the versatility, flexibility, and capacity for signal modulation that we see in chemical synapses.